Let's break down the core idea behind this paper. vLLM and PagedAttention from Berkeley. Same GPU, same model, 2 to 4 times as many users served for free. No new hardware, no smaller model, no quality drop. The trick that pulls this off isn't some new attention math. It's a memory management idea operating systems have used since the 1960s. Let's see why serving a language model was wasting most of its memory and how paging fixes it. First, what fills that memory? A language model writes one token at a time, and each new token has to look back at every token before it. To avoid recomputing the past on every single step, the model caches it, the keys and values for every token so far. That's the KV cache. And here's the thing. It grows by 1 slot for every token you generate, for every request in flight. It gets big, fast. So look at where a GPU's memory actually goes. On a 13 billion model, the weights eat about 2/3 and never move. Almost all the rest is KV cache, dynamic, per request. Which means the real question isn't how fast is the GPU, it's how many requests KV caches can I fit at once. Fit more, batch more, higher throughput. The KV cache is the bottleneck. Now the crime. Old systems store each request's KV cache in one solid, contiguous block, and because they don't know how long the answer will be, they reserve enough for the maximum, say 2,000 tokens, up front. A request that stops after 10 tokens still holds all 2,000 slots hostage. That's internal waste. The reserved but not yet written slots are more waste. And the odd-sized leftovers between requests, external waste. Add it up, and most of the memory is sitting empty. The profiling is brutal. But computers solved this exact problem decades ago. A program wants one big, contiguous stretch of memory. Physical RAM is a mess of scattered free space. The operating system's answer, virtual memory. Chop memory into fixed-size pages, scatter them wherever they fit, and keep a page table that maps the tidy logical view onto the messy physical one. The program never knows. That's the whole idea PagedAttention steals. Here it is. Take a request's KV cache and cut it into fixed-size blocks, say 16 tokens each. Those blocks do not have to sit next to each other in GPU memory. They can be anywhere. A block table, one per request, remembers which physical block holds each logical chunk. The attention kernel just follows the table to gather the keys and values it needs. Contiguous view, scattered reality. And because blocks are handed out on demand, you never reserve for a future that might not come. A sequence gets a fresh block only when its current one fills up. The only wasted space is the tail end of the last block, a few slots at most. Utilization jumps from 1/3 to nearly all of it. Same GPU, suddenly room for far more requests. If treat the GPU like an operating system is the kind of idea you're here for, like, subscribe, and send this to the friend paying an AWS bill to serve a chatbot. One more trick, and it's the best one. Because blocks are just mapped, they can be shared. Ask a model for 5 variations of one answer, and all 5 start from the identical prompt. So store that prompt's blocks once, and point all 5 block tables at them. Beam search, parallel sampling, same deal. Only when one sequence writes something different do you copy that single block and let it diverge. It's copy on write, the same trick that makes forking a process cheap. Shared memory for free. And it all caches out here. So the whole idea, the KV cache, not compute, limits LLM serving. Old systems wasted on contiguous, max-length reservations. PagedAttention borrows OS paging, fixed blocks, a block table, allocate on demand, killing the waste, and letting sequences share blocks copy on write. Same hardware, 2 to 4 times the throughput. Which leaves a fun question. How many other GPU problems are just classic systems problems we forgot we already solved? That's my read. Tell me yours. Until next time.